Now we have the fourth group, the Textile. We are enlarging the number of companies who are included in the project. We have 5 companies here. 6. Sorry.
So I'm the tutor of the Textile group, and this was a very interesting project because of 2 main reasons. First of all, because students were involved in working not with just one company, but with a group of 6, 7 companies. And the second reason why is because all of the meetings and the staff and the material were in Italian. And this was very challenging for these students because they come from all of the world and they didn't know Italian that much before starting with this project. So the project has a double role. And given that I don't have time, but I just want to thank all of the companies that are seated over there because their commitment has been really high during the entire duration of the project.
Thank you. Respectable jury, dear audience, we are here to present to you our project on behalf of our TextNet group, and I'm going to start with a brief...
Guys, wait a second. You're completely missing me. Not fair at all. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is TextNet, and I work for the Textile Network. From now on, I will be the company's representative during the presentation. I must say, being a worker in such a complex network is not easy. Especially because we have 7 companies speaking sometimes completely different languages. That's why we decided to contact this LaPS team to help us to improve our communication channels and to create a more collaborative and integrated network. So no more words, and let's see what these guys have to propose us. Talk to you soon!
Hey TextNet, we're really glad that you showed up and joined us in today's presentation, and now with the company representative here, it would be easier for us to present and explain our project. So, as our friend already mentioned, we have a network of 7 companies with very tangled relations representing the whole value chain of textile production, starting from your own yarn supplier, moving along with 3 yarn dyeing companies and having also a yarn distributor, and finishing with 2 fabric manufacturers. The need of the TextNet group was to increase and exploit the synergies coming from the interactions. But the need was faced with some barriers and difficulties that are mainly due to the lack of formalization and standardization of the communication flows, and also to the level of diversity that companies have also on the organizational level and on the level of the ICT technologies. So, the project scope was to improve the communication process of the companies through the proposal of an IT tool that is capable of encouraging the cooperation and communication among the companies. During the project, we carried out 4 main activities, let's say, starting from the analysis of the value chain, moving to the analysis of communication network, then identifying the key success factors, and proposing a set of improvements. So, what did we do to reach our objectives? First of all, we started from microanalysis, where we basically mapped the whole network to get a general understanding what's going on inside the network, what are the activities that companies carried out, and then we analyzed each single company, identifying the flows of materials and paying specific attention to the flows of information that I have inside. As a result of this work, we have a simple but very powerful table that represents on the left side the as-is situation with all the flows that the companies have among them, and on the right we have the future situation as we see it. Who should see the information, add and update the information according to specific flows of information. So who should have a success and access to this information. And now, TextNet, what do you think about that?
Can you explain us better which are the key points and outputs of the analysis? So what exactly are we looking for?
Okay, I think I got your point. So what we are looking for? We are looking for something that would have such features as standardization, real-time tracking, real-time updates, and simplicity, and also a possibility of information visualization and its integration. Actually, we understood that there are two types of information flows to be supported, to support informal communication that is now carried out using phone, Skype, you know, old school way, and the formal communication that is now carried out via IT tools, IT solutions. There were numerous solutions for these problems, but we decided that now in the situation that we have is the best thing is to focus on the informal communication. Why? Due to the three factors. First of all, because our companies have different levels of their organizational maturity, and also level of their ICT maturity is really different. And I would also add that cultural predisposition has some role in our case. So, what is our solution? Our solution that we proposed is a Teambox. What is a Teambox? Teambox, it's an online collaboration tool that combines the best practices of project management with tools of social networking. And it helps us to transform our organizational network into a virtual one. And now my colleague, Jonathan, will explain you how this specific tool is applicable to our situation.
Thank you so much, Alex, and good afternoon, everybody. Okay, Teambox is a generic tool, so you can find it like for several kind of companies, such as like BP, and there is also Danone and Southwest. So it's quite easy to be applied for all companies, but not directly. You need to do a customization process. This customization process that we did tried to like be applied like with the structure of Teambox. Teambox starts with an organization and several kind of users. So what we did is to set an organization that is called TextNet, and different kind of users that are our 7 companies. After all, we develop a list. We set a list of projects that like tries to summarize all the communication flows that they are required to do when they are communicating to the other companies. And inside, we develop like a set of orders that try to solve the activities day by day of the companies. But like just like proposing a tool is not enough. We need to validate the tool. So for validating the tool, we were into 2 simulations. The first simulation was between 2 textile companies, Taborelli and Ambrogio Pessina, and the second simulation was between a dyeing company and a textile company. This is how the interface looks like, and if you see, it's quite simple, user-friendly, and keep you the track of all the orders that you can place in the tool. But let's talk about the disadvantages and advantages of our tool. Disadvantages, we are not integrating the IT internal systems of each company. And also, it can be considered a little bit of complex because they are not accustomed to use this kind of software that are online. Advantages, first of all, we are doing the formalization of informal flows. Then we are allowing them to keep tracking of all the orders that they are placed. And we are doing like real updates, and we are letting them to negotiate like in the whole process about the orders, the delivery time, and all kind of simulations. And finally, like we are breaking the first cultural barrier against IT systems. This is what we have done. First of all, a problem statement. Then we move to an objectives, negotiating with the companies. Then we move to network analysis, finally to improvement opportunities. Then we propose a tool, we implement the tool, and we jump to a new project. We are proposing a new project that is the formalization of all the inventories, orders in a new tool. This new tool will be integrating the whole systems. So Teambox is in the middle between like a weak collaboration towards a strong collaboration. So what do you think, TextNet?
Wow, that was great. It is exactly what we need. I can really see the positive impact on our network. Finally, I will be able to communicate in a simple and effective way. I really think we have a winner. And
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Now we have the question from Antonio.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I really enjoy it. And I have only one question about your presentation. In particular, you spoke about the fact that you evaluate different tools that are able to reach the objective of your project, CRM, Teambox, and so on. And I would know how is possible to compare these different tools, and in which way you decide to choose Teambox instead of CRM, for example. You consider the costs, I suppose, that you mentioned, but you can explain better what are the other factors that you consider in this choice. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, we consider the cost because like they were looking for a tool that maybe can be a little bit of free, let's say. Like you just here spend like $5 if you want to go towards like a big network of more than 5 users. So the costs were really important, but actually also the simplicity. CRP maybe is too much advanced for companies that are really different. All of them that are using like a different IT internal system. So to communicate all of them in a CRM or ERP, it was going to be like so much work for them internally. So because they have like different kind of numbers in OSHA orders, they have a different kind of codes. So going to this kind of solution, like as the first like solution proposed, it was going to be too much and restructure like 7 companies is more or less impossible. So we wanted to be realistic, and that's what we proposed, like a simple tool, but that really can target like the solution of the informal flows at least. Satisfying the requirements.